We are Flake, Rose, and Spears, and we are supremely black, dropping content that matters. How y'all doing this week, fellas?
Doing all right, man. It's your big kinfolk J.Flake, man. We got our first snow of the season down here in Tennessee, and the kids were disappointed because you're homeschooling, so your ass gotta go to school anyway. ain't no ain't no waiting on the school bus for the thing to go across the bottom of the news say these schools are closed. No, no, sir. You better open that laptop and log on and keep pushing. No, sir. It wasn't even that much snow anyway, but no, how it is in Tennessee, that little bit of ice, they would shut it down for the day. We ain't used a snow day in probably 2 years. They for sure would have shut it down. My daughter was so disappointed. She was like, "It's snowing. Yep. You go ahead and log on. It making no difference this week, uh, but other than that, man, I hope everybody had a happy Indigenous People Day, the second Indigenous People Day. Um, happy Day of Thanks. Happy of celebration time with family and friends. Even if you had to zoom it in, me and my family got together though. We was in the house bashed up on my parents' house, so we celebrated my grandma Pan her 88th birthday. She got a little cake on for us in the process. That she still got it. So that was awesome to spend time with them and celebrate my grandma's birthday, man, and seeing family, even though we was in that thing masked up and taking temperature, and lights on up and wiping everything down. We still had a grand and glorious time.
Yeah. It's been a dope week. I'm finally back in Houston. I was in Tennessee for about 2.5 weeks. That's the longest I've been there in a while. But it was dope. Pulled up on and seen grandma and granddaddy. We was out in there chilling. The mask was on, so them plates got brought out. So I had to do my traditional trash talking. That team in Dallas lost. So it was a great weekend for me. I was cool with that. It was good to see old Unc take that in. And him and my pops, they both Cowboys fans. So that was we took a couple celebration shots. I probably took them by myself, but it was all good. But everything been straight, man. I really can't complain at all. It was really, really great to see family, friends I haven't seen in a while. I actually got to attend a high school game. I haven't did that in probably like 4 or 5 years. My alma mater is actually going to the state championship Friday. They play at 11 o'clock Eastern, 10 o'clock Central Time. So hopefully they bring their gold ball back to West Tennessee. So shout out to the Mountain Bulldogs, going to bring that thing home. Shout out to Doc, because I know he always listening. Tell us, man, hey, go hard. It's your last one in that purple and white, bro. Bring that thing home, man. But outside of that, everything been good. I can't complain at all. How about you, Spirit?
Hold on, before we go, correction. The game was actually 11 a.m. Central Time.
It's 11 a.m. Central?
Yeah, Cookville on Central Time. They ain't on Eastern Standard.
I thought they was on Eastern. Okay.
No,
Okay, cool.
Central Time.
Okay, bet.
Did y'all win that game?
Yeah, they going to state.
Man, slap Pearl, man. Slap Pearl around, dog.
Yeah. So for the Nashville listeners, I don't want to hear none of that. So when I come to the city, I'm gonna have my whole purple everything. Yep.
Was talking big boy stuff. Them little weak birds, man. Them little water birds.
Little firebirds. We send them back like some Nashville, some Princess Hot Chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, we had to have a little wax since they came across that river. Yeah.
Okay. That's what's up.
Yeah.
My week good. Finally tested negative for COVID, so I'm good to go. Still gonna lay low, but I'm good to go. So that's a blessing. That's a thing. About to get back to work and everything. So my week's been good. That's really all I got for y'all about my week, because I just been in these 4 walls. So
that's what's. Yeah, I'm glad you got rid of that Batman though, bro. I was a little worried about
you. Yeah. So I was in grown man timeout.
Right. For real though. That's what's up. You gonna move any different afterwards, or you just kind of like it is what it is?
I mean, I honestly think I got it from work, but I'm just gonna be more precautious and everything, and then wear gloves because I pick freight sometimes and then load it on pallets and then drive and load trucks and stuff or whatever. So it just I think I'm gonna wear gloves and everything now versus just doing it barehanded and stuff.
That's what's up. You getting that vaccine too?
Hell no.
Alright.
Hell
say
no.
say no say no to the vaccine. Yeah. You
Well,
go.
this week we got something kind of deep, I guess, and we just looked up on it. I ain't even gonna say looked up on it. I'm just gonna say that the way the atmosphere moves and everything, it was just something that needed to be talked about. So we're gonna talk about why men, specifically black men, don't express themselves and share their feelings. So who wanna dive in first?
I kind of pop it off before we kind of get into like some of the specific questions we may have for each other, just any like conversation. But I had a conversation with my homie Moo and my boy Tim. Man, it was just um, in our culture, in our environment. Why is it so tough for us to, really express our feelings and just really talk about things that truthfully matter to us that could lead to, depression, anger, sadness, self-doubt, things of that nature. So we kind of got to discussing. I won't really go into that because that was personally something we had, but it was crazy because we've all been friends like brothers. I don't even call my partners friends. Like we've been brothers for 15 plus years. And it's just a very difficult thing to do amongst black men. So I just kind of felt like this would be a great topic because I know a lot of my people, of course, a lot of our female listeners like express how you all really feel so we can kind of get a gauge for it. So I know for a fact within this conversation, you all will love where we go with it. It's deep because we don't express ourselves enough or maybe not get the opportunity, or we may feel that we're misunderstood. So we would kind of be a shell of it. And then another perspective of it is that a lot of us are the man of our house or family, so we got to be their strong suit. But even the strongest person needs somebody they can lean on, and so that's why we're gonna have this conversation today. So I'll let anybody, if they have any questions, to kind of pop it off. But if not, I can kind of leave with my question that I do have for you all that we can kind of engage in first.
You go ahead with your question.
Okay. So I'll pop it off, and we're gonna go ahead and get deep. I don't. We're gonna go on and rip the band-aid off. So for you all, why do you find it so hard to express your feelings? Like, is it society? Is it the friends that you have? Is it something within? But what makes you just be a shell of yourself when it comes to expressing your feelings?
I mean, for me, speaking from my experience as part of growing up in the pretty much the '90s raising. So with that being said, it wasn't a lot of sharing feelings during that time. It was a lot of, you know what I'm saying, quit acting like a punk, pick it up, get together, quit being 65, you a man, hold it down, never let them see you sweat, never let them see you cry, never let them see you shaking. It's a sign of weakness. So it really wasn't an outlet at that time to really share your true feelings without somebody looking at you crazy. As we know, growing up in a small town, especially during the '90s, like you go to church a lot. Like my family, deep in the church. So if you got an issue, you talk to the pastor, you talk to the deacon, or something like that. You know what I'm saying? It wasn't really anything about going to counseling, uh, seeing a shrink, like any of that going on at all. So from my experience, it's kind of was, it wasn't like you got to be hard all the time. Being as a man, you got to be the toughest person in your family. You got to hold it down. Um, and you kind of, you got to shake a little bit of stuff off. Um, and with that type of thought, later on I go in a little bit deeper with that type of thought on how it probably has affected Black men and the syndrome of fathers not being around, or this theory that Black fathers are not in the home or Black men are not in the home, and the thing of, hey baby, we're going to get a pack of cigarettes and you never seen them again. But I go into that as we continue to talk about that little thing deep on my thought.
So I'm just going to piggyback off just a little bit of what Flake said, but then give it a different perspective as well. Growing up until my younger brother was born, he's 6 years younger than me. Yeah, so he's 6 years younger than me. I was the youngest male grandchild in my family. And so out of the grandchildren, I want to say total, it was about 20 of us. And guys, I want to say it was about probably like 13, 12 or whatever. So when I was young, I was a crybaby because one, they picked on me. I was the young one, all this other stuff. So I ain't gonna front. I was a crybaby. I was the one picked on, all this other stuff. But when I came into who I am and myself, it was no more that I'm the basically little big cuz, I'm the big cousin. I do all this other stuff, and I'm the whatever. So that played a part into it because when you're around your cousins and all you want to do as the youngest is be around your older cousins. And my older cousins, 3 years is the closest I am to the youngest of the older cousins, and then everybody else like 6 years and up. And so like they was in high school, I was still in elementary, most of them, and all this other stuff and everything. So when you around them and they allow you to be around, it's, oh, you playing sports or you boxing or whatever, don't cry, don't say nothing. So, it was a lot of that. So then that teaches you, okay, well, you gotta suppress everything. But then that's just growing up. Now on the flip side, I will say just a different perspective aspect. The reason why I really don't express myself much is because I know everybody's going through problems and everybody has issues. So who am I to burden somebody with my issues and my problems? And I know that's not the right way to think, but that's literally what I have told myself and still sometimes tell myself. I don't tell myself that much as more because I have learned to lean on strong brothers and everything. But then another thing that has changed within the people that I talk to is, bro, you could talk to me. A lot of times, the people that you deal with didn't say that and was like, I'm here for you, or, all that other stuff. So you never really thought about expressing yourself because you never heard nobody say, like, if you need to talk to me or if you got something to say, I'm here for you. And so that has also opened up the door to being more expressive, but I still stick to, I'm not going to tell my man something when I know my man's going through something, one, because that'll be selfish just because I'm going through something. Let him go through his stuff and just be there for him. And like, you just deal with your problems and take it on the chin. And then the last perspective that I'll bring to it is that also that it's hard to express yourself when the other sex, for the most part, thinks of it as a
sign of weakness.
yeah, I didn't even want to say weakness because they
That's
might
what
not
it
think
is.
they might not think of it as weakness. They might think of it as just like
A cop out.
he's soft or
Yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
I can't deal with well, weakness, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Weakness.
Just say it. like,
Weakness.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Weakness.
yeah.
So that's what I'm gonna start with, and then I'll let you go, Rose, and then we could keep bouncing it around.
Yeah, we'll keep going like this. I like the way it's going with it. But from my perspective, and Flake knows it just like my Uncle Worm know it. Like I was the baby out of all of them. Like even my cousins, I only had like one cousin, Sham older than me, and my uncles there, of course, they were all older. So I was the baby of them. So with Flake, Worm, my older uncles, it wasn't no flinch on nothing. Like if you told something, cried about something, You gonna stay at the house with grandmama now, or you going back to the crib with your mama? It ain't none of that. Like, point blank period. Even when we went to camps, like, you better fight, you come home and tell us how it went. It was never just like, or I felt this way. Even my mama, like, both of my parents gangsters here. Like, just to go and put that out there. Like, they ain't going for none of that. It was never that conversation. So for me, on one perspective, it was like the culture that we was brought up in, right? But then when you think about it, even not even just the culture, like your family raised you that way. It was like, nah, you ain't doing what you crying for. Get up. Like, nah, I just fell off the damn bike. My knee scarred up to this day. That hurt. Like, but you can't you sucking it in. You don't even want to cry. You feel me? So but it creates a monster. And so you get older, and like you were saying, like with your homeboys, you're not really coming up about it. You know, everybody faced with the same problems because, you know, unfortunately, most of us are put in a position to where we have to be the man of the house or the family quicker than we have mentally assumed that position. We're just physically there or vocally being told that you the man of the house just based off of whatever's going on around, right? So you don't really get to the point where you're just comfortable sharing your feelings because everybody around you hard about it. So it's like everybody straight. Like we ain't worried about nothing. Like we might see a couple people cry at a funeral or something, but it ain't us. And if they do, it's just like for a brief moment, it's like, oh, I'm straight. You grab whatever you grab as your vice to kind of get past it, but you never really cope with it. You never really deal with it. And just like it was hard for you to say a weakness. We ain't trying to say that there's no man. Like, yeah, that's a weakness. And some female or some people will look at a man expressing his feelings as a weakness. So you will kind of shelter it. And it's like, what's the point? You feel me? So that's my three perspectives on that. You raised to stand on business.
And you see how they work that quick. You see how they work. I was raised under that same umbrella with my big cousins and all them. I was the youngest cousin and all them, and that's how it was. We go up to Poe Clark. Some people know about Poe Clark, and there be some stuff going on. It wasn't no going home. Now you got to scrap that out. Like we ain't. I'm up there fighting. I'm like 10 years old fighting dudes 14, 15, 16 years old, getting straight drugged. But it was like, hey, you handle it though. You handle it though. what the hell is it? You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I passed that down to my nephew because that's how it was. And at some point we're gonna have to break the cycle. Basically at the end of the day. At some point we have to break the cycle. It's cool to be a man, stand up for yours, do your thing, but at the same time, you gotta have that space to be able to share feelings as well. But you just thought about something, D.Rose, where you saying, you know, you fell off a bike and it hurt, and he's saying stop crying. Just think about parents. If you ever got a whooping, you get a whooping, you hurt. Shut up with all that crying. It's like, bro, I just took this switch for about 3 minutes strong.
Yeah.
And they were like, you know, shut up with all that crying, you know. So we got to find that sense.
Yep. And to be specific, it's you a boy, quit all that crying.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So it's like, you a boy, quit all that crying. So it's like, okay, so I can't show no emotion. So like I tell my nephews, like, they act just like I was. Crybabies here, like they anything, they whining, telling on each other, and I just laugh because my sister takes a completely different approach. I would rather just ask them, why does that make you so upset? You feel me? Not just holler at them, tell them they can't be full of emotions because you're human. Damn what they say that you're a black man, you're human. If you want to cry, cry. But it better be a good reason. Like, don't just be crying because he hit you after you hit him. But if you feel some type of way about something, express yourself. Like, don't just think because you're so filled with emotions that you eventually will become emotionless and you can't share anything with anyone just based off of how you feel. And a lot of us were, like you said, we were just raised that way. So we don't even think it's second nature to us, like, to shut it off. The moment you feel like you being weak, like, boom, don't even worry. I'm straight, bro. Grab the bottle, grab the blunt, do whatever you do as a vice, but you still got that same hurt and pain when you drive home. Like, damn, I could have really just told, bro, but I don't even know what the first word to say without getting emotional or looking weak or feeling weak or vulnerable. You know, that's just how it is. So.
And then the
Quick,
last
before you go, real quick, switch, just before I forget this thought, just piggybacking off what you said about other people got problems and this, that going on. I think we get to thinking that, and there are people in worse situations, but we got to find that person where we can share, where we not weighing all of our negative stuff and feelings on them, where that person got to feel comfortable and doing is sharing that same information with us. So it's just not a one-way street. And I think that's where we get uncomfortable with sharing it with one particular person, because we've all had that friend where a person in your life, every time you talk to them, it's negative, 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 negative. You got the phone with them and now they depressed. And they like, man, me and this person, like, we cool, but we ain't that close for me to be sharing all of my perspectives with them. So I think in a situation we have to find also somebody who's comfortable, where we so comfortable with each other that we can both do that. Whereas my time to lay out whatever I'm going through on your lap, and then 2 weeks from now you might be going through the issue. I need you to feel comfortable to call me and say, "Hey, bro, I just need you to listen, and I got something with you, or whatever." So I think that's kind of where we kind of feel like other people are going through something worse. Because I mean, that statement is true. Whatever you got going on, there's somebody out there doing worse. Which
Yeah.
you got to find that person that's compatible to be able to share those things with.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the last perspective that I'm going to bring up, well, I think which is the last, is that sometimes it's also hard to share your feelings or tell somebody something because you don't know how long they're going to be in your life. So you don't know if they're gonna flip on you. You don't know if they're gonna fold. You don't know if you're not gonna be with that girl no more, and you don't know if they're gonna weaponize that against you and either tell other people your secrets, your skeletons, your dirt, or if they're going to hold that against you and then send you stuff or come at you and be like this. Oh, I know this about you. And so you just don't know who's going to be in your life. And so sometimes it's hard to trust somebody with some of the things that you want to share, because we would be lying if we would say that we don't want somebody to share this stuff with, or if we don't want to get this off our chest and relieve ourselves of that weight. But it just happens sometimes where we have to
And
hold it in.
even from a sense of not even them just, being removed from my life, whether it was just the friendship gone bad or, a fallout. But it's like my legit best friend that I grew up with, bro. The only place I can even stay at his crib, he can come to my crib. Him and my mama was best friends. Free my guy Boosie. Like, he got 33 years, bro. Like, there's nothing that we even have in common because he got 33 years in prison. You feel me? Like, and I could share stuff with him, but he would look at even what I got going on. You in the free world. You feel what I'm saying? So sometimes it ain't always about a fallout. It's just a disconnect from a person that you really, really trusted and loved. Like, I love brother death, but he got 33 years, bro. We ain't even 33 years old. You feel me? So it's like, that type of separation anxiety from our culture and what comes with that, either, prison or death, it plays a huge part because you become shell shocked. You don't even become comfortable expressing yourself because you grew up in this culture and you was only comfortable with certain people. And when they were removed for whatever reason that life presents, you don't know no other way to turn to, because there's only so many people that really just know you for you. No matter how you try to adapt to other people or other groups, it's just like, the real one-on-ones. We can't really just have them conversations with everybody. Like, you cool, but we run together, or we cool, or we might hit the club together. You ain't really just somebody I'm comfortable with in that space. I could just deal with, or we just hang with each other in a certain area. And I don't say we don't, but like you were saying, it's just difficult to get comfortable with people in that way. Like, we just weren't raised like that. And that's just, we have to, like you were saying, Flake, you got to break that cycle, but that's a huge mental barrier to even say, like, what's really impacting you. It goes real, real deep. Like, it really do. Flake, you had a question that you want to go with?
don't think I had a question.
Oh, okay. I thought you was about to say something. My fault. I thought I heard something. My fault. Yeah.
No, I was on mute.
Oh, okay.
So I got a question. So the people that you have confided in, what made you comfortable to confide in them?
For me now, it's I reevaluated the type of relationships that I have with people. Is, if we run together, we run together. If we work out together, we work out together. If we talk about sports together, we talk about sports together, right? But if you're really somebody I consider like my brother, we could have a real conversation about what's going on in life before we talk about what's going on to entertain us or take our energy, right? So, like, to use you as an example, I can't really use Flake because Flake my uncle, but so for you as an example, just like the other brothers that I do have, I had to get comfortable being uncomfortable with them. I no longer want to talk about things that were just surface things. I want to dive deeper into like what was the root of why we even cool. Cause I don't need no friends. I'm past that, you feel me? But what's our real connection? You feel me? And when I get a grasp of what you've been through and what's your walk of life, that's what makes me gravitate towards you more. And not just because I want to be around people that, you grew up in the hood or you grew up in your mother just raised you or your father just raised you. None of that. It doesn't have to be any dysfunction or you rep this, I rep that. None of that. It's just more or less of, can I confide in you to let you know of who I truthfully am without any judgment? However, when I am moving in a different space of who I told you I was, you're going to be quick to correct me on it because that's what a brother or that's what a sister would do if we cool like that. So it's the trust part for me that is completely different, where when I was younger, it was all about the entertainment. It's how cool was it? We can go over here and it's these people over here, these people over here, but it's all distractions. When we turn all that off and we sit in this room and it's quiet, what can we talk about? And if it's real conversations and we really got goals that we set for each other, I really know what's going on with your family, then you consider a brother or sister to me. It's no longer about how cool I think you are, I think I am. So that's what it was to me, is like the trust.
Well, mine is family. I ain't gonna lie. Mine is mostly when it comes down to family. The ones that are not that there's not blood family, like I said, like D.Rose says, brothers, and it's rare for some people to have the same set of people around them for years on years on years. So with my group of brothers, we've been running with each other since third, fourth grade. Like we been like 8, 9 years old, and we still tight. So for me, I mean, some people might be like, "Oh, you got lucky on that one." But yeah, I am probably kind of lucky on that one because there's not many people that you're gonna be running with still from when y'all was singing in the church choir all the way up to playing little league baseball and football together, all the way up to having a family, being married, with kids, and all that good stuff. So yeah, it made it pretty easy for me because I mean, them guys I've been around ain't never fold, ain't never told my business, I ain't never told none of their business, this, that, and the other. So that I guess I kind of just when you kind of just grow up with those people as being your brothers, that make it kind of easy to share your feelings with them.
See, I ain't had it as lucky as you, Flake, or even you, Rose, because I had some partners 10 years, 15 years in the game, but they turned out to be bitches. So uh, I ain't had it like that. So I mean, I had niggas fold on me, and then you could say some niggas would say I folded on them, but I just got tired of dealing with bullshit, and I don't deal with disrespect well. So I decided not to handle it the way that I used to handle it, and I just decided to separate myself. But uh, it's all the matter how you see it. But for me to share with somebody at first, like you, Rose, it was just about longevity. That's what it was. It was like, did we go through things together? Did we put in work together? Did we, you know, have some type of bond where, it was me and you together, like me and you together. Okay, so then like, and then as the years built, because I don't share my feelings much at all, but there are some people that I've confided in. And to be honest of them, most of them are females more so than niggas because I just gravitate more to females than I do males. But uh even with that being said, like I don't share myself much, but when I do, it used to be because of longevity, but now I have realized I'm 34, so in my 30s, probably last couple of years of 20s, but I would more so say 30s, it's more about the character that you show me and the integrity that you have as a man and as an individual. And so therefore, like Rose, like, you know, before we met, we used to shoot the shit in a group chat, but then once we met, it was a little argument, but because of the mutual respect that we had, we was like more people was more concerned about what we were gonna do than we was concerned about the other one. Cause I didn't take it as you was about to take off or do anything crazy. And I know you didn't take it off as that way either. We were just having a conversation. And then ever since then, we have basically since that first conversation, every other conversation since then, damn near has been about real life shit, like real nigga boo boo. It ain't been no shits and giggles, oh, this or whatever. Now, sometimes we do shoot the shit and talk about, sports or, females or whatever the case may be. But for the most part, we talking about, intergenerational wealth and, we talking about actually succeeding and not working for people and business plans and properties and different things like that and streams of income, reading books and educating our minds. And so now it's about your character and the integrity that you show. And so therefore my circle is pretty much small / non-existent now, but there are some people that I can really share stuff with because I know who they are as a person and on the inside internally. So that's what it is for me to be able to share now with people.
Yeah, the crazy part about that, I was telling somebody about that. I was telling 50 that when I was back home. And I was telling them about I guess, I wouldn't call it an argument, but some people would, I guess, if they don't talk in that manner. But we was only discussing the movie, what was it, Bonnie and Clyde? Yeah.
Queen and Slim.
Queen and Slim, yeah, Queen and Slim. And people just thought that was, I'm like, bro, y'all really ain't on around. Y'all ain't been around nothing. Like, you think I'm about to sit here and fight this man on Queen and Slim, bro? Like, nah. Yeah, but yeah, that's crazy. But yeah, that's how it be, man. That's really how it be. Like, I don't even consider no circle. It's just either we family or we really ain't nothing. Like, we cool, but, mix me with the rest, and I ain't gonna give you nothing to even make you feel like you even harm me by you moving how you move, because that's just what I expected anyway. So I don't even give you that ownership of me. So yeah.
You got something to say, Flake?
Yeah, now the question is, we got a little bit of time left, is what kind of what Spirits brought up earlier in this conversation about being seen as a weakness coming from women, female counterparts or whatnot when you're sharing feelings. So what are you guys' thoughts on that? Or do you run across it as you able to share feelings with women, or is it that you hadn't found it to be able to share too many feelings with women? And when I say women, I ain't talking about mama and aunties. And we talking about ladies that that been with, consider being a girlfriend or whatnot, wife.
Yeah, I would say for me, I can't even knock them because pretty much to Spirit's point is I've actually been more comfortable with sharing my thoughts with women. Not that they have to be a girlfriend or anything like that, but like women I would consider like my sisters or somebody I'm cool with, because I'm going to give them that respect. They're going to ask you those questions that are uncomfortable. They will ask questions that your homeboy would never even think about. And they pick the best times. They will catch you when you smoking your hookah, chilling, drinking, chilling. They know the best times to get you in your comfortable spot. I don't know how they do it, but shout out to all the Black queens that know how to ask me the right questions at the right time. Salute to y'all. I could never give them that slack. I would almost feel as if that they should ask more because that makes it that gets us out of that conditioned mindset of not sharing our feelings. And so even though it's coming from a female's perspective, if you're able to go through your thoughts of, this is my thought, this is my feelings, this is behavior that comes after that, that helps you process it a lot different. You should still be able to have that conversation with your homeboys. And I'm gonna say it just like my homegirls would tell me, old boy really ain't your partner if you can't have this conversation with him. They're very, very quick to say, he really ain't for you. He just only around you for what you bring around him. So I can't give them that. It's now, I would say this from a woman that cannot control you or understand you. They do have a hidden agenda or a motive in regards to you expressing yourself, because then sometimes they will either use that against you because they know for a fact that's something that you truthfully care about and you shared that with them. So that's out of pity. I'm talking about the real women that's gonna always realize that she got skeletons in her closet just like I got skeletons in my closet. But they're gonna be supportive of how you feel and how you move and stuff. So I gotta give my black queens that one. Like, they hands down some of the best therapists I know that ain't official, and they should go and get some of it, because they get me talking about stuff that I didn't even talk about it with you or Spirit. But now we cut the cameras out, we can talk about whatever, but they broke the ice. They told me to go to counseling. Yeah. So salute to them.
So first I want to touch on something that Rose said, and he had mentioned that, shoot, I just lost it, but it's gonna come back to me. Fuck, I can't remember right now, but it's gonna come back to me. But I'm gonna answer the real question, Flake, and then I'm gonna say something as well. But the real question is, when you're approaching a female, and so it's a female that you don't know, and y'all are getting to know each other, I think the reason why it's considered a weakness to them is because, like, say she do something wrong, you'd be like, oh well, like my cousin died or something, and that's something sensitive, or like, you know, I'm dealing with some trauma from this situation. Oh, my nigga, like you too expressive, you too weak, or whatever. And excuse me for saying the N-word, but that's what they really come at you with. But you too weak, or you too expressive, or I'm not, that's just too much. The reason why it's like that for them, because females aren't honest with themselves to a sense. They say they want somebody who is expressive, who's in tune to their emotions, who isn't this type of guy. They're tired of dogs or whatever. But subconsciously, they go after what they want and what attracts them. And what attracts them is the closed off, hard, get money, cool, ladies man, whatever type dude. And that's what actually attracts them. And I don't know if y'all seen the little clip from that T.I. said, and it on Expeditiously. He was like, no female really wants a guy who don't got no bitches. Because if you don't got no bitches, you're not really that guy. And what's gonna make her come to you? Like, and so not even the bitches part of to call a female out his name. I'm just quoting T.I., so don't take me for that. But females are attracted to a certain type of person, and a lot of times that person isn't an expressive person or somebody in tune with their emotions. Now, what I will say, and I'm a lot like Rose, like, it's easy for me to express myself to a female, one, because people call me a ladies man, and this not even to the sense of messing with females or whatever the case may be. I just get cool with females in a way that a lot of men can't. And so it'd be platonic friendships. Some friendships might not be platonic, or relationships might not be platonic, but I have a lot of platonic friendships with a lot of females, and I can express myself to them easier because, one, they're not as judgmental as we can be as men. And then two, like Rose said, they just communicate in a way that's more effective to make you come out with your feelings and to express yourself. And so that's why I would say females do think that we're weak, but as far as me, I really don't have a problem. And so salute to the Black queens that have been there to for me to be shoulders to vent to and to lean on and to cry on and all that other stuff, because y'all have really been part of the reason why I have evolved and grown, and why I'm still here on this earth, because of your upliftment, your prayers, your words, and all of that. So to answer your question, Flake.
Nice way to say you're a whore. I appreciate that.
Hey, hey, I said that boy put his Obama pants on for that message, didn't he?
And that speech was so presidential now.
I can neither confirm nor deny those allegations.
Can we take them ballots back? Let me check out Christopher Spears, please.
When it for me, when it comes to that, and I go from the relationship perspective of it, and relationships that I've been in, it's probably been like two women I could really share those feelings with or whatnot. I have been told once before, nigga, you ain't got feelings. I have been told before when I have told women before, like, hey, you know, that you tripping, like, it slick hurt my feelings. And they be like, yeah, whatever. Like, so that does happen. I've seen situations where, and like this has been going on social media. So I was reading some of it, and a lot of women on there was like, yeah, you can share feelings, but don't tell me I hurt your feelings. Just tell me, like, girl, you tripping. Like, what you on? Like, I was like, so you rather me just be hard with it, be like, man, you tripping, what you on? Instead of being like, hey, you know what? Let's sit down and talk about this. I don't really appreciate how you did that. You know, that slick hurt my feelings, whatnot. Which to me was just confusing. Like, you can't be hard all the time. Like, you can't be hard all the time. You gotta put that hard head down and share some feelings. And you're right on that, Spirit. You know, a lot of women say this is what they want. They want a man, you know, to be all of those things. But then when it come down to it, when it's time for rubber to meet the road, and they'll be sitting there with the side eye like, man, this nigga tripping. Like, what? He must done drunk too much. It must be the weed. It must be something. Like, why is he really just telling me all this? I'm taking all this because I should be able to tell you all that. I mean, you come to me with your feelings and you tell me I should be able to do the same thing without you looking at me as being somebody weak. Yeah, I can still be their protector. I can still be their provider. I can still be all of that. But every once in a while, I got to release my feelings. If not, I'm going to go crazy. And just going back to some of the things I talked about, I said I was going to bring back up where they said fathers not being in the home, and sometimes men leave, like, babe, I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes and never coming back. Like back in the day when men used to get drunk and come home and I'm not making no excuse for this, but I'm just saying that for some men, there was nowhere to release that anger. So yeah, think about it back in my granddaddy's time when you working in the 50s and 60s and, you know, the 40s, and you got to go out and deal with, you know, white America beating down on you at your job and you know, not being able to sit in front of the bus and all this other mess. And then you come home and you ain't got nowhere to release that because you come home, you gotta help take care of kids because back then, you know, you got 5, 6, 7 kids at the house, or you got other stuff you got to tend to. Of course, your wife would be home and, you know, have dinner ready, this, that, and the other, but you had no release to let this stuff go that you've been balling up and dealing with maybe all week at work. You know what I'm saying? Maybe, you know, somebody called you a nigga, and you know if you react, you going straight to jail or whatnot. And then you got the pressures of I gotta feed 5, 6, 7 kids, and maybe me and my wife ain't looking eye to eye right now, and I'm dealing with the outside world, this, that, the other. A lot of men was like, I'm going to get a pack of cigarettes, and you never see your dad again, or he moved 3 states over. It might not be because he didn't love you, whatever. He just didn't know how to. He was acting out because he didn't know where to get their release from, you know, outside of maybe a bottle or he came close to putting his hands on your mama or his wife. Instead of him doing that, he'd rather leave because he has no outlet or release for that. And I'm not blaming women at all. I'm just putting the examples out there, and you got to look at all examples. Now, some of these men are just assholes, and they just did shit like that. But yeah, I mean, like I said, I've been luckily I got a wife now that she'll listen to my feelings, whatever I got going on, this and that and the other. But I can only imagine if I was in a marriage where I couldn't, get my feelings off my chest, or if something happened that hurt my feelings, that I'm not able to talk to her about it, and that since I couldn't imagine it. But we all about sharing feelings in this house. We got all daughters and a wife, everybody expressing feelings in this house all the time, even when they ain't feelings that really matter, they still being expressed. But yeah, but I mean, just to put this subject, a pin on it for me is that, yeah, we gotta find that space for men to be able to express feelings. I believe we talked about this before, and I didn't look it up before, but Taraji P. Henson, like I said, P. Henson, she got her group. I forgot the name of it, but if you Google it, she got her, for men to be able to talk to counselors and speak out and things like that. But sometimes, I'll be honest with you, those people are expensive. They are professionals, but at the same time, you should be able to talk to your brothers. You should be able to talk to your girlfriend, your wife, your aunties, your mama, your father. You should be able to have those conversations with those people as well. And when something happened, to say, "Hey, look, hey, you hurt my feelings. This is what I feel about this," or with all this stuff that's going on in the news, I'm feeling some type of way. You know what I'm saying? We just need to have a conversation about it. Or the biggest one of them all, where you really be like, when it really come to brother, father, uncles, and big cousins, "Hey man, I love that girl to death. I can't believe she left me, man. My heart broke." It been plenty of time where they be like, "Boy, if you don't get your ass off your shoulders and go out there and get you another gal," like, you know what I'm saying? You should be able, if you had that, you should be able to share it. You know what I'm saying? If you had that feeling, I mean, yeah, we say that, but if you with a girl for, 1, 2 years, and all of a sudden she up and leave, or y'all get into it, and you now used to having somebody, and now ain't nobody there, you back to the streets. Hey, that stuff hurt, bro. Like, I don't care what no man say. That stuff hurt when you laying in bed cold and lonely. You've been having somebody there and had your back for forever. And especially if she done taught you how to save your money and get you on the right path of doing right and this, that, and the other,
Somebody else getting that pressure.
somebody else getting that. Now you laying in the bed thinking that everybody else used to do with you. And you don't walk in the happy hour, she done all in some other dude's face.
Man.
Out of all them tricks, and now she giving it to somebody else.
Man.
All the
Yeah.
tricks.
It like, to kind of like what you were saying though, to kind of close it up, is that we just have to be comfortable with one, saying that we're broken men. We're trying to piece it all together. It probably would never be all pieced together, but as we focus on picking our puzzle pieces together to be as whole as possible, just make sure you surround yourself with people that are really, not just standing with you, but really in your corner. I've mentioned that before, but truthfully, because we are broken. We can try to run from it as much as possible, but just based off of, like you saying, in the 50s, with our grandparents, that ain't too far removed for us not to have them same issues. So it's real. You ain't got to do counseling, but you can talk to somebody. But just understand you're broken, and just keep the best way possible, cope with it. But I would definitely say, find you somebody to talk to, or reevaluate your circle if you don't have nobody to talk to.
Yeah, true that, true that. Oh, I knew it was gonna come back. What you said when you said females told you if you can't say this to your friend, then they ain't really your friend.
Yeah.
I be telling people that all the time. Like it, I even said it to some of my female friends. I was like, if you can't tell your best friend this, then y'all really not friends. If you afraid of how she gonna react to you,
Mhm.
because if y'all really friends, y'all can have those conversations, those uncomfortable conversations, those conversations that need to be had because y'all are friends and it's coming from somewhere of respect versus it coming from somebody outside and it be like, dang, like why you ain't never tell me this? Or did you feel this way? And I come to you and you be like, well, yeah, I thought this for 10 years. So why didn't you say nothing? Like
Yeah.
it's like, so those really ain't your friends. My last thing that I will say too is, and this goes back to how the conversation was brought up. If there is a friend who normally don't say nothing and they all of a sudden coming out to vent on you, check on them more because they might be going through something and that might be a sign. So just make sure that you're there for them or whatever, because a lot of times the ones who don't say nothing and then they finally say something, something's breaking them down and they just need somebody to help pull them up. So I'll say
Yep.
that.
That's true. That's true.
You got something to end with, Flake, before I go into this Black Business Minute, or just go straight into the Black Business Minute?
Yeah, just real quick, man. As black men, you born in this earth already a little bit chipped off and broken. We already starting, once again, not getting no excuses, but living in a place like America, you already starting the race 3 steps behind, if not 10. So, man, always try to be open if possible. If you find that corporate you discuss it with, be open to have these conversations. Don't be afraid. Uh, look for signs of folks who are flawed and fake that really ain't got your best interest. So, person really show you who they are the first time. 9 times out of 10, that's who they really are. You know what I'm saying? So, don't be afraid to share that with your people. But we go over the black business. That's all I got to say.
Okay, so for the Black Business Minute this week, it is going to be True Kitchen Cocktails in Dallas. And the reason why I'm doing them is because uh, I know there's been a video going around on social media of the owner going off on some black woman for
Y'all,
twerking in his establishment. Say that again.
y'all stop twerking in my establishment. Quit playing
For
the ass
twerking
shit.
in, for twerking in his establishment. And so before I go into that story, I want to go into why I'm using them as the Black Business Minute. Do I agree with his point? I do. Do I disagree with his approach? I definitely do. But as Black business people ourselves and as Black people, just because somebody makes one mistake does not mean that we need to shun them or stop supporting them or whatever, because there's been many mistakes that other people have made and we still go and support them. We have been treated bad by a whole bunch of others and ourselves, and we still go back and support people or be friends with people or stay in relationships where people have treated us wrong. So again, that's why I'm using them as a Black Business Minute. So ladies, y'all have to understand, it's not a club, it's a restaurant, and y'all was twerking in his furniture. Y'all have to have a little bit more sense than that. Owner, you can't cuss them out, talk about this is a respectable establishment, then saying, take your money fucking elsewhere, I don't need it. Like, come on now. So you can't have it both ways, but I'm still gonna support you. So True Kitchen Cocktails in Dallas. They was created to deliver the best in food, drinks, and vibes to Dallas, Texas. True Kitchen and Cocktails is here to please. A dynamic comfort food restaurant at its core. True Kitchen and Cocktails will focus on nicely plated comfort foods, including flavored fried chicken and lobster tails, shrimp and grits, creative waffles, and other Southern classics made with a twist. In addition, Kitchen and Cocktails will feature oxtails, greens, black eyed peas, and candied yams to go with desserts such as peach cobbler, lemon cake, and banana pudding. So, True Kitchen, we support you still at Supremely Black, and that's our Black Business Minute.
That man really did contradict himself, though. This is a respectful establishment. Now get the fuck out if you don't like it. Hey man, that video tickled the best out of me, dog.
I just want to know what song they were twerking to. That's it.
Throw that ass in the circle. I think it was. The DJ said throw that ass in the circle.
Why are you playing it in your restaurant if you don't want no ass get thrown in the circle? Like,
No, I don't think it was really the twerking that was his problem. It was that they was twerking on his tables and his furniture.
Right.
And so it's a
oh,
restaurant. So I think that was really more so the problem than them actually twerking.
okay. I was gonna say you might not want to be playing throw that ass in the circle with some candy yam. Just
Yeah, like had hands on the windows or whatever. He was saying like if you put too much weight on the window would break, and then he'll be liable and be sued. So that was like one of his things also. Like he made a whole apology on social media about it. His main concern was y'all with my furniture, when y'all get hurt, I'm gonna get sued. And he had already asked him like 2 times before he went on.
2-3 times.
Yeah.
okay. Makes sense. Makes sense.
But they was throwing them yams, all right.
Throwing them yams. You hear me? Couple oxtails too.
They were just missing the greens.
That's crazy.
Five black person of the week. We're gonna go with and this might be late, so my apologies, but we're going with Stacey Abrams. Stacey Abrams, she ran for governor of Georgia recently. A lot of people say she was cheated out of it. I don't know. She didn't win, but she gonna roll for it again when it come back up, and she probably gonna get the victory. She is mainly responsible for turning the state of Georgia from red to blue with her push out there. So she did an outstanding job with that. Stacey was born in Madison, Wisconsin. She went to Yale Law School from 96 to 99, where she had graduated from there. She got a couple of books out. She got a minority leader, lead from the outside. My bad. There you go.
Yeah.
There you got right there. She also has another book, Our Time Is Now, by Stacey Abrams. Yeah, those are 2 books that she has. But yeah, y'all look out for her. She is a big reason why Georgia flipped to red. Once again, she'll be running for governor when they shoot back around. Or
Flip to blue.
pretty sure she has been placed in another position if she's not able to run for governor, because she's probably got a big list, maybe even had a position in the White House. Very possible.
She flipped it to blue, cuz. Yeah. 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 That's what's up. Shout out to Stacey. I'm about to check that book out too, man.
Shout out to Miss Abrams. Shout out to Miss Abrams.
The Queen Stacey Abrams, man. You are a blessing, sure, to the Black community and to Black women, to show that they do have the power in the political world to flip from red to blue. So I'm just
ultimate salute.
Now, when you're right, and I gotta in that aspect, I gotta salute that.
Got to, man. Got to.
All right, y'all got anything else when we close this thing out? We only closed this, but we about an hour strong. We a little bit longer than we thought, but that was a conversation that needed to be had.
Yeah, I ain't got nothing but just my way. I got last piece. Just love, live life. That's it.
Yeah, mine is love, pray, and repent, and then also, brothers, you're not weak if you share your emotions with somebody, or you find somebody to talk to, or whatever, or even if writing your emotions out is the way that you get it. That's not a sign of weakness. So don't let no man, no parent, no uncle, no cousin, no woman tell you that it's a sign of weakness.
The only people, I think about the only people that used to share their feelings was old school R&B singers. You know them old school R&B singers. They share their emotions.
Not even rappers though. Rappers back in the day used to share their emotions.
Yeah. The only way you do is through music, and it be cool though.
Yeah. Big Daddy Kane, Slick Rick.
Yeah. All right, for all my queens out there, Put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you're our queen. All my kings out there, put your crown on, tilt that thing to the side, let them know you are a king. We are Supremely Black Podcast. We're going to catch y'all next week.